Big news today. A New York State judge has been arrested for alleged obstruction of justice. Brooklyn Judge Sylvia Ash, pictured here, was arrested at LaGuardia Airport Friday. Another new article talking about this arrest today says this Brooklyn judge deleted text messages after being questioned about MCU corruption, according to prosecutors. They talk about how the judge had been celebrated before her arrest today. The Office of Court Administration, which runs the state court system, said Ash had been relieved of her judicial duties effective immediately. She was the first person of color to sit as the presiding judge in Kings County Supreme Court, according to the Caribbean Life newspaper. Last year, Ash received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Brooklyn Women's Bar Association. This article opens saying she should have had better judgment. A prominent Brooklyn Supreme Court judge faces obstruction of justice charges for deleting text messages and other evidence after being approached by federal agents investigating corruption at the state's largest credit union. Ash faces a maximum sentence of 45 years in prison for obstruction and conspiracy charges. Ash, 62, is currently the presiding judge of Kings County Supreme Court Commercial Division and has served as a state judge since 2006. Federal prosecutors said she tried to help cover up crimes committed by MCU's former CEO Cam Wong. Wong has already pleaded guilty to engaging in a multi-million embezzlement scheme. Judge Ash, in her role as MCU board chair, is accused of deleting text messages and wiping clean an iPhone in an attempt to destroy evidence, prosecutors said. After Wong's arrest and later guilty plea, U.S. Attorney Geoffrey Berman said for years, Cam Wong, the then CEO of New York's oldest credit union, betrayed the credit union's hard-working members from the perch of his executive suite by siphoning off millions of dollars in company money for his personal benefit. Wong then tried to cover up what had been done by making false statements to federal investigators and creating false and misleading documents. He will now serve a substantial prison sentence for his crime. Article notes how MCU is New York's oldest credit union and has nearly $3 billion in accounts held by more than 500,000 members, many of whom are public workers. Ash's role as a board member was voluntary, and she served from 2008 to 2016. Ash did receive tens of thousands of dollars in travel and other MCU-related reimbursements during the years she served. They also add how a former NYPD officer was arrested in connection with the MCU fraud. He appeared in federal court Thursday and is accused of stealing $250,000 from MCU by submitting false security-related billings. Prosecutors said he stole another $200,000 by allegedly setting up a web advertising business to overbill MCU. He's also been charged with illegally selling prescription drugs to former MCU CEO Wong. In January of 2018, agents with the Southern District of New York questioned Ash, 62, about, quote, millions of dollars in payments she received from MCU for airfare, hotels, food, and other expenses, prosecutors said. She then allegedly deleted texts and emails and wiped her MCU-issued iPhone. She also made false and misleading statements to the feds, according to authorities. The charges announced today reflect the latest in our ongoing work to uncover criminal conduct at the highest levels of MCU, a multi-billion-dollar federally insured credit union, said Manhattan attorney Geoffrey Berman. Said, quote, as alleged, Sylvia Ashe, a sitting state court judge, took repeated steps to obstruct a federal investigation into significant financial misconduct at MCU during Ashe's tenure as chair of the board of directors. And they also mention the related charges, the new charges against this retired NYPD cop, Joseph Guagliardo, who is accused of controlling a sham security company that received $250,000 from MCU without providing any real services. And they are saying that Guagliardo carries a max 30 years in prison based on his most serious charge. A court spokesman has said that Ashe is still technically a judge, even though she had been removed from all judicial duties. So this is the Caribbean Life News article talking about the judge from last year when she received this Lifetime Achievement Award. The Brooklyn Women's Bar Association, the oldest incorporated women's bar association in New York State, Wednesday night bestowed its Lifetime Achievement Award on a Caribbean-born judge in Brooklyn, Justice Sylvia Ashe, born in Trinidad, received the award during the BWBA's Centennial Awards Gala celebration at the Liberty Warehouse in Red Hook, Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Women's Bar Association said it honored Justice Ashe, a justice of the Supreme Court of the state of New York and the presiding justice of the Commercial Division in Kings County Supreme Court, for more than 30 years of service in the legal community. Quote, BWBA's Lifetime Achievement Award recognizes an outstanding individual who has dedicated herself to law and policy before courts, agencies, U.S. Congress, state legislators, and other institutions. Quote, Justice Ashe is receiving this award in recognition for her commitment to law and policy spanning over 30 years. Justice Ashe, they note, was the 5th recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award in its 100-year history. This is what Justice Ashe had to say last year after receiving the award. Justice Ashe said, quote, I was very humbled to be the recipient of this award, especially coming from such a well-established and revered organization as the BWBA. I am not sure if I am deserving of a Lifetime Achievement Award, given the fact that I believe my legal career is still a work in progress. Nonetheless, I must give thanks to all whose shoulders I have stood on, those who have paved the way, cleared the path, and accompanied me on my legal career journey. She added, quote, I will continue to dedicate my legal career to ensure that everyone who comes before the court seeking justice is given the opportunity to be heard and is treated equally with compassion. The Caribbean Life article talking about this award that she was given says that Justice Ashe is a graduate of Howard University School of Law in Washington, D.C. After 20 years of legal service in the private community, in 2010, she was elected to Kings County Civil Court. Justice Ashe was the first Caribbean-born woman to be elected to the civil court in a county-wide race. She is also the first person of color to hold the position of presiding justice of the Commercial Division in Kings County Supreme Court. So this judge being arrested today, a significant update, just the latest in a much wider investigation according to authorities. Have to continue to follow any other connections, and I will follow up here. Let me know what you think about this case so far. Thanks again to everybody that has been sharing these videos and sharing the channel to help get this sort of information out. Also, in the video description are links to my Patreon and PayPal accounts where you can support the channel directly. Thanks again, all supporters over there. Thanks for watching. I'll follow up soon.